What do the new secret rares and Ninja Spinner mean for my business? Let's get into it. Fellas, welcome back to another episode of Co-Trainer. It's Cole. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the Ninja Spinner set that is going to be released on March 13th and what the set means for me in the business since I'm wanting to sell Japanese Pokemon cards. Alright, so we're looking at the new set and the secret rares from Ninja Spinner. We had a recent video on the set itself, but here are the secret rares that were revealed. Yes, they're terrible images, but let's just get right into it. We're looking at Chespin here, the first one on the list, and he's standing on a log and is in his element, holding a stick, and I think the gloss on these cards, like the full gloss, is absolutely fantastic. Even though they don't have any texture. I think that they're beautiful, beautiful cards. The Fennekin looks all right. Like in a home, like I just imagine that the Fennekin's like a pet dog, fox. I believe Fennekin's like a fox, pet dog in a home, and that's pretty cute. The Froakie and Frogadier are actually really cool. Let's click on those. Even though it's going to be a terrible image, who cares? You can tell that it's on some water, and he's just, what is he, underwater? No. Oh, he might be underwater swimming. No. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see his shadow there underneath him. I think he is underwater, and the sun is kind of shining. I think that's that green. Um, Looks really, really, really good. And the Frogadier, it looks like, and you really can't tell, but um, he's the water in these images are really good. Um, you know the you can kind of see as more of these, you see more and more secret rares, and especially after seeing the Winds and Waves um, video and what the water is going to be like. I think that they're really trying to play around with the quality that they can have, like images with water and water in the cards, because Winds and Waves is going to have a lot of those type of Pokemon and images that they're going to be putting on these cards, and they're doing a really, really good job. Um, you can see they have the Xerneas right there, and uh, Crobat over the city. Kind of reminds me of like if he was Batman, the Crobat does. Just like in Gotham or whatever, and you got the Crobat, although he's, I guess, a little bit more evil, but I mean, at the same time, Batman's a vigilante, so he's not necessarily the most uh, what would you call it, saint of a superhero. So I thought that the Crobat over the city was really cool. Just click on it for a second, even though it's a terrible, terrible image, just to take a look. Um, we've seen the Mega Greninja, I believe, and the Mega Pyroar, the Beedrill, I think. There's Mega Floette again. Um, we've haven't seen the trainers yet from the trainer gallery. If you're into the trainers, that's cool. Some of them are, and I don't have any kind of attachment to any of the trainers, but they're gonna be there for anybody that you're gonna have. Az, uh, Felipe, Roxy, and Emma in there. I know there's some Emma fans out there. Um, and I'm assuming this is the alt art for Mega Greninja. And man, that's a beautiful card. Just the blues and everything in the picture. Like I said, in the water and the Froakie and Frogadier, the water in on these cards is really, really good. Uh, and there is going to be a Here's some of the alt arts for Mega Fluat, uh, Dragalg, however you say that, uh, Chinchino, AZ, and Roxy. And then you're going to have the Mega Greninja EX Gold card. I think that that'll be a very popular card. I don't know that Greninja is a very popular Pokemon, and so I think that that's going to be a very, very, very popular card. So, what does the release of Ninja Spinner on March 13th mean for the business? Are we going to be able to purchase any of it? And yeah, we're not going to be able to purchase any. Um, After the release, like on release day and pre release and all that kind of stuff for the Japanese product, is not necessarily the best time for me anyway to be purchasing any because the sales probably won't be coming through very quickly and I won't be able to sell them and the prices of them will just start to plummet. And that will not be good for me in the business. And we would quickly go out of business if we just started losing money rapidly. You've seen in my past videos the charts for a lot of these Japanese sets when they release, and they seriously take a hit after release and even weeks after release. I've been doing some research, and a lot of people will purchase the week after, or a couple days after, or the week after um, to get the Japanese product. So it's already taken a little bit of a hit. But I was recently watching another video, and they were just talking about Japanese sales, and they said that they were waiting till like 3 or 4 weeks after the English set released. And I thought that was very interesting because, for one, right now anyway, English product is really hard to get. And once everybody realizes, I can't get the product, they're like, well, the only place I can go next is Japanese, and the opening experience is better. And then they turn to that a couple weeks after the new set comes out, and then product does pretty well. And so it'd be interesting, and since I have my own business, I can run these experiments. It'd be interesting to see how that all shakes out, and if that's something that we can use a little bit is the English set releasing, and maybe it's really hyped up, or even if it's not, it's just really hard to get product because there's a lot of speculators on English product, um, and trying to play into that. I mean, essentially, that's kind of what we're playing into anyway. Getting into Japanese is we're playing into people not being able to get English, and so I've never had any experience. For one, trying to purchase English product, and then two, getting Japanese and selling it. And so knowing some of those, points in the market that people kind of FOMO into Japanese because they can't get into the English set and they just want to open it. And I'm starting to realize the addiction out there for people to open Pokemon, which I understand. I got it too. Um, I opened a pack recently that was definitely for resale, and I need to watch out for that. But people want to open this stuff, and whenever they can't in English, that's when Japanese kind of opens up the door to be opened and to make some sales on my end. So we're definitely going to try a lot of these, ways and waves of releases into Japanese product and everything. Um, I know that Ninja Spinner isn't the most expensive set being released in Japan, that's for sure. But we'll see where it goes. We'll keep up with it. I really would like to have gotten into Ninja Spinner and dabbled into it a little bit, but that's okay. I understand that things need to come first in the business, and we're still trying to raise some funds. Currently, working with my father-in-law, cutting some trees, so then we can start, purchasing some stuff. And had a conversation with him that I thought was very interesting, and kind of helping me understand my goals in life and what I'm wanting to do on the side, because he feels like he's a little bit behind, and he wants to take on this cutting trees after he retires in a couple years. And I understand that feeling. You never feeling like you're ahead, and I'm here to tell you that you're doing a whole lot better than a lot of other people, just being here, being interested uh, into trying to start something on the side, start a business on the side. Uh, you're very you're one of the very few, right? And then one of the very few will actually start. And so it's just been starting. And I was talking to him about the time that I have, and whenever we go and cut trees, we're taking time away from our family, right? But in this business, right, I'm not taking time away, getting up an hour early to make a video away from my family. I'm not going to be taking time away from the family whenever I'm packing orders uh, in the middle of the night, while everybody's asleep. I'm not taking time away from family doing that. And we're taking time away cutting trees in the evenings because it's daylight and our families are still up and awake, right? And so that's why I feel like it would be more sustainable with my lifestyle doing something like buying and selling, because I can take care of business stuff after everybody's asleep or before everybody wakes up. Where whenever you are, you're gonna be I obviously am gonna be making more money, just helping my father-in-law cut trees, right? But it's not a sustainable business model for me trying to take care of a family, and then in a couple years, whenever my boys start wanting to get into sports or whatever they decide they want to get into, maybe they want to get into Pokemon and vending, who knows, but once they want to start getting into extracurricular activities, I'm not going to have time in the evenings to make some money, right? I'm not gonna have time to go cut trees or do whatever. And so this just seems like more of a sustainable business that I can continue to grow throughout the years, throughout all of the years of my life, and kind of the things that I might run into in my life. Obviously there are catastrophes that could happen that nobody can plan for, and nobody would be able to run a business through, and those things can and will happen. But I'm just talking about everyday life things, and as time goes on, the sustainability of it, and not necessarily the money side of it, right? Because I just said I can make a whole lot more going and cutting a tree, right? I can make uh, $50 after a couple hours in the evening going and helping him cut a tree, right? I'm not going to be making $50 selling bulk in an evening. You know what I mean? Not until I have thousands and tens of thousands, if not, more than that, to sell bulk online and, turn a profit. When even though the profit margins are there, I'm not necessarily going to be able to do that every single time. And so I understand that, and that's completely fine, especially in the beginning. But I could do that after some time and effort, and who knows, months or even years into the business. So that's kind of been my thought on where we're headed with the business and its sustainability, and also with purchasing Japanese product and not being able to purchase right now. As I said before, we have about just over $1,300 from sales from selling off our personal collection, and I'm amazed at that and very happy with where we are. We just need a little bit more though. I know that if we're wanting to do this, right, we need to get a label maker and we need to get shipping supplies before we ever purchase anything. And I know that's not any fun to have to go buy those things and spend your hard earned sales on things that aren't going to be product, but those are things that we have to have. And then I've debated, depending on how well this goes and if we can source some bulk, I've debated on getting a printer. Printers are, I guess printers for me, it's like, do you buy the cheap one or do you buy a little bit more of expensive one? And understanding the cartridges, I do need to do some more research on like printers that I could use, because I would need a printer because not for my labels, but it is for my labels, because if I'm selling bulk, I'm going to be putting cards in envelopes, and I want to be able to print my label on that envelope. It's way cheaper than printing one on my label printer, and so I've considered getting a uh, printer for that reason. And we probably do need a printer anyway. So those are just my thoughts. Comment down below if you have a printer that you use for your business that you would recommend, because I don't know which route I want to go and how much money I'd want to spend. I don't want to spend that much money on a printer, but I also don't want to be changing out the black ink cartridge all the time, and just having to spend a lot of money there. I just kind of want it to be one of those set it forget it. I get to print thousands and thousands and thousands of uh, envelopes, and then I need ink, and I don't want it to be the ink cartridges. I like the um, the bottles that you get to pour the ink into. I think it's more more cheaper. It's cheaper that way. So yeah. Also a scanner. I would probably get a scanner if I really got into the bulk and everything. And although like I do like the ones that just like spit everything out very quickly. Um, I don't know. I was watching oh is it anyway, I was watching a video on talking about the scanners and printers or not printers but label printers, um, and one of the scanners that came up, I was like, ooh, that one seems reasonable. Like, uh, you don't have to worry about the cards getting damaged potentially going through it and all that kind of stuff. And I just need to compare prices really. But that thing was like $500. I was hoping it was gonna be somewhere like 200 or something, even like on eBay used or something. But it's still like a $500 scanner. And all you do is you're just like inserting one card. It takes it in for a second and then spits it out. And you're only like doing one card at a time, and it could be very time consuming, considering how much bulk you could end up purchasing. So I don't know. We'll see where we go from that, but we would need to be able to source bulk anyway first. And right now, just having no luck, just looking on Facebook. So, some of the game stores that are about 15 minutes away from here, I could call them and make it a thing where I go and pick it up every now and then. But I'm assuming those game stores are actually like selling Pokemon and like sourcing a lot of that, and so they're definitely going through their bulk and trying to sell it to make some money. So it's already probably been sifted, and I'd want to go through some that is unsifted, and so just to try to pull a bit more value out of it. So anyway, enough of my ramble. That's kind of where my thoughts are on the business, on Ninja Spinner, and trying to sell Japanese products. I'd rather get into the Japanese products and everything. I just need to start making some more money so we can buy a variety of products and have things on the store for people to purchase. And so we also need to get the store going. uh, I tried to do that and my internet could not handle it, and that's kind of frustrating. Paying $80 a month for internet, and it can't even handle um, trying to build our website or anything like that. So, all right, that's all I've got in this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, um, and comment down below if you want to see something else, or if you didn't like it, just tell me what you didn't like about the video. I'm trying to improve every single day, and this is helping a lot, just me personally, and I'm enjoying documenting the journey that I'm on. So, yeah, guys, continue to watch and knock yourself out watching this next video if you want to.